Hey, so today I thought I would do a real quick demo of how I manage my job hunting process. And a lot of people out there looking for work. It's very stressful and very time consuming. So why not take as much of the friction out of the process as we can? And I do that the way I manage many projects, and that is using an application called Scrivener. Now, Scrivener is a writing application. Its bread and butter is long form writing. Think academic manuscript, research, nonfiction or fiction novels. A lot of writers use it. It's been around for many years from a company called Literature and Latte. It's a great program. I use it for project management because it's got so much flexibility and customization built into it. It's just a great app. So let's just take a quick look at how I use it. And this, of course, is a demo file, not my actual job search file. I wanted to maintain some confidentiality. But one of the things I like about it is Scrivener allows you to manage files, right? So a file, a piece of text, and you can arrange them in folders. What's great is that you'll find folders and files are essentially the same thing within Scrivener. And when you are looking at your content, you've got a variety of different views available to you, particularly this outline view. Now, in outline view, you've got the ability to have a bunch of metadata, some of which is built into the system: modified date, created date. You would expect those sorts of things, title, right, with any piece of data in your Finder or in the Explorer on Windows. But you can also add custom data. So these are actually data points that I've created because it's a job search process, a due date, and then a date that it was actually submitted. If I'm lucky enough to get interviews, I want to slot in when the interview is or was. Second interview, third interview, etc. I like to track source just because, from my own information, are there particular places where I'm getting more traction in terms of getting more follow up on my job applications? It's just good data to have. And then I use the status, which is actually, I think, label in natively in Scrivener. But again, you can customize this, change it to status, and then add any number of options. And they've got this great color coding that you can, again, customize. So you can see I've got here, as an example, this company that, let's say, I would have applied to, and I've done an interview, got a second interview, and perhaps have a third interview pending, or actually maybe the second interview pending. And so what I'm actually doing is just with this text file, going to the job posting, grabbing the information, right? Just copying and pasting and dumping in here, the salient stuff. And example would be here, just a job where I've pasted in the mission statement, overview of the role, etc. I also include always a link back to the original source where I found the listing. That's handy. And so now that I've got this information in here, I can, again, give it a status, put in whatever other data I have. And this would be an example of a folder containing applications for a particular region. Now, I could be applying to multiple cities within a state, or maybe even multiple states within a certain region of the country. You'll see I also have included a folder for remote work. I kind of keep these separate just to track them. But another thing real quick I'll show you is that in addition to actually keeping track of my applications, when it's time to actually apply, I have this folder with letter content. Now, we all have application letters, and of course, we may be applying to a variety of different jobs or variations on job titles, etc., right? So when I'm putting together the letter, I have text that I've written, I've vetted, I've spell checked, all of that stuff for all of these different sections. And one of the great things about Scrivener is you've got this view here. I mentioned the outline view. There is also an index card view, which is handy if you are one of the people that remembers the days of the 3x5 index cards. And there's also this Scrivenings view. And what Scrivenings is doing is actually showing you all of the content in this folder as if it was one document, right? And these are all live and actionable. So when you're clicking in here, you're actually clicking into whatever subdocument you are actually in. So you can edit, you can copy, paste, etc. And what this allows you to do, for instance, is, let's say I'll grab my opening, and then let's say I want to look at a couple different options for my second paragraph. And for this particular job, we'll imagine that this one is more salient, relatable. I could, add a third paragraph piece. And let's say if the job is involves relocating to a different region, I might have a blurb about that. And then I will have closing. And now I've got this content. I can just come in here and copy. And I mentioned the relationship here that the text files are also folders, essentially. So I can go ahead and create a piece here, and this is going to be application folder. Application letter. And I'm just going to paste that in here, and I'm going to bump that under there. So now this application has got the information about the position. It's got the letter, and of course I can, clean this up, adjust it, customize it. I don't pay too much attention to formatting or appearance here because that's not really Scrivener's strength. It does do compile and exporting out for publishing, but that's a whole part of the application I rarely touch. What I'm doing is generally taking this content and bringing it out into Pages. And when I've got it in Pages, I've got a template file with my header, all of my information, my signature, and everything. And this text is just getting pasted into that, exported as a PDF, and there's my formal application letter. And if I'm sending an email, it gets attached. If I'm applying online through some sort of form submission process, there it goes. So that's just a quick view of how I keep some grips on this process. Best of luck to all of us. It's a long slog. Deep breaths. I hope this was helpful. If you've got questions, put them in the chat or send me a note. Or if you've got other suggestions, I'd be curious. What applications or processes do you use to help keep your sanity in this job search process? Thanks, and I'll see you next time.